In this video, I'm going to show you guys the fastest way to improve in Anime Eternal. So as you can see, we are on a new game on the channel, and I'm not going to lie, this is definitely one of my favorite games so far. At least in terms of simulators in the past few years, honestly, this is actually a really well-made game. In this video, I'm going to show you guys the fastest ways to improve in the game if you are struggling. So you can hopefully make a ton more progress in the game and actually make it all the way to the final world. Alright, I've been grinding for a decent bit, and as you can see, I'm currently only in World 17. I haven't actually made it all the way to World 20, but we are making some pretty good progress. We are getting pretty close, and we should get there at some point. So yeah, pretty much how this game works is you pretty much just run around and you defeat enemies that are around the world, and in return defeating them you get coins, XP, and other really cool interesting items, which I will show you in a second because there is some really cool things you can spend. In literally every single world in the game there is some either they're called gachas, and pretty much all of them do a different thing or work differently, but some of them are also pretty similar. So as you can see, we'll go ahead and just click on like one in the first world, the dragon race, and you can go ahead and roll gachas by getting points from defeating enemies, and by getting the points you can roll some of these gachas, which in return will give you a stamina boost, at least from this one, as you can see. And I literally have the best gacha in here. As you can see, I've hatched the Saiyan one, and I've actually gotten the rarest gacha on a few things. If we actually scroll up here, as you can see, this is what my inventory is currently looking like, and yeah, I have a pretty good amount of pretty rare gachas that give me some pretty good boosts. As you can see, a lot of them give me like stamina boost, damage boost, and what's so cool about this is you can literally stack them. You can literally get one gacha, and there is so many different gachas in the game to acquire, and you're able to equip one of them from each gacha that you open up. So as you can see, I can literally equip one gacha from all of these different things you can open up, and by equipping up all of these at the same time, you are able to get some pretty insane multipliers and stats. But I want to go ahead and show you guys what I've pretty much done to grind and get up this far in the game, or at least the things that have helped me the most. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys at least what has helped me a ton. So first things first, I'm not sure how far you have progressed in the game, but I'm going to go ahead and start on World 2 because I'm sure a lot of players have at least World 2 unlocked. And more specifically, what I'm going to be focusing on is actually the restaurant raid over here, because this is actually a super good raid to play and gather up a lot of gacha tokens, because as you can see from this raid, it will actually give you a bunch of different gacha tokens. You don't have to farm one thing and get one token, because these raids are really good because they will give you a bunch of different tokens. And recently they went ahead and added the addition to go and speed it up 3 times and use 3 of the amount of keys, but you get 3 times the amount of rewards, so it's actually really good. However, I don't have the restaurant raid X3 for this one, and I don't think I'm going to be buying it, unfortunately, just because I don't really need it. But if you want to spend the credits, you definitely can, because it is pretty worth it, because you can get a bunch of lunch boxes from this raid, which will give you all these items in here, and they are pretty good because they'll give you a boost to literally everything, which is pretty cool. And you can also literally gain an item in here that will give you a damage boost if you get lucky enough to get the best one. And yeah, just in my opinion, I feel like raids are one of the best ways to get a ton of gachas in the game. I'll go and teleport over to World 4 where the cursed raid is at, so we'll go ahead and run over here. I should have the 3x spawning for this, so if we head over here to the raid, we can go ahead and select the choose 3, and we'll go ahead and get 3x the amount of rewards, which is absolutely broken. So we can go ahead and join here with 3 of the cursed keys, and now we get 3x the amount of gachas, which is so OP. And as you can see, just by me standing here, I actually have a pretty big attack range. I can literally defeat all the enemies without even moving, and I get a ton of gachas. But yeah, if you are struggling with actually getting a more attack range, I know a lot of you guys have struggled with that at some point, and I definitely did too. And what you can do to fix that is by upgrading the attack range upgrade right here. That you can literally start upgrading right off the bat. As you can see, I do have mine maxed out, and you do actually need the green upgrade tokens to upgrade it, and I was actually wondering how to get these for a while, but I have figured that out for you guys. All you need to do to get them is you need to complete the easy and medium dungeon, and in doing so you will have the ability to go ahead and get the green upgrade tokens to drop from there, and you can spend them on the attack range upgrade. And then also, if you do get a bunch of tokens, like let's just say from this raid I'm getting a bunch of these tokens that I don't even want, because I maybe already have the best thing in here. As you can see, what you can actually go ahead and do is you can actually exchange your tokens at the token exchange shop, and you can literally transfer these tokens or exchange them into the exchange tokens over here, which is a new currency, or not a new currency, but it's just a currency inside of the game, which you can literally exchange your tokens for. And then once you exchange your tokens or your regular tokens into the exchange token, you can head over to the exchange shop, and you can literally exchange the coins back into whichever token you actually want. So it's pretty cool because you can literally exchange your tokens into exchanged coins, and then you can take those coins and exchange them in terms of whichever gacha you want to open up, which is really cool. I have not seen a game do something like this, like literally ever, so I think this is actually such a really unique idea, and definitely very cool. I think that's why I started enjoying this game a lot, because it's super unique compared to like literally every other game pretty much. And you also want to go ahead and shout out the developers of the game, because they went ahead and gave me the content creator role, which I wasn't even really aware of. And in doing that, apparently you actually own, or it gives you every single single game pass in the game, which is absolutely ridiculous. I wasn't even expecting to get all the game passes once I got the content creator role, but I actually did, which is super cool. So huge shout out to the devs for literally hooking me up with all the game passes. And if you want to actually boost your tokens even more inside of just any of the raids, if you do have the 3x raid going like I am and you're getting a ton of tokens, you can actually boost that even further by using a drop potion right here, because it will give you double the amount of token drops. So you literally get twice the amount of drops that you're getting already, which is insane. And then on top of that, we can go ahead and use a hot sauce down below, which will give us 10% more token drops. So we'll go ahead and use both of those. And yeah, now this is just insanely broken. We are probably getting a ridiculous amount of tokens, so we can go and transfer like pretty much all these in to the exchange coins, which is really OP, or you can spend them if you want. But honestly, I have a lot of these gachas already completed with the best thing on it, so I can't even really upgrade these at all, to be honest. So I can go ahead and just exchange these for coin, but there are some things, however, that I still can upgrade, like the hockey upgrade. As you can see, this one costs a lot of tokens, and there is other upgrades inside the game where to just show you, like the cursed finger, for example. I do already have it maxed out. What you can actually do is you can spend the fingers of which is the gachas you get from here, from this raid at least, and you can go and spend them, and they will give you a chance to actually succeed on the upgrade. And then if it does succeed, it will give you a slight damage boost, which is pretty cool. I'll go and show you with a gacha down here that I haven't completed. As you can see, this Demon Lord energy right here, I have a 10% chance to complete it, and it costs 24 energy tokens. So we'll go and see if we can get it complete, but it failed. And unfortunately, those are the only tokens we have for that upgrade, so we're gonna have to come back to that at some point. But yeah, definitely doing the dungeon easy, medium is how you get those green tokens. And if you're wondering how to get the orange tokens, which is from the attack range 2, you get these tokens by completing the leaf raid. And it works just the same as the other ones that pop up. You can just go ahead and join it every hour, I believe, or you can teleport over to the dungeon lobby and look at it there. But what I definitely recommend is to farm up the cursed school and the restaurant raid a good amount, especially with the 3x boost if you can, or the 3x grind if you can get it, because you get so many more tokens. And I think it's going to help you progress insanely quick on this game. If you start farming up a ton of tokens, you have a lot to spend. So we'll go ahead and just go over to the token exchanger, because I don't really need a lot of these tokens, so we can go ahead and just start exchanging them for more of these exchange coins. So we'll go ahead and just do this, and we will get all of the tokens that we can get. We are getting a pretty good amount, and you definitely do want to save them up or grind up the exchange coins, because there's a lot of things you can spend them on, especially if you are a free-to-play player. These help a lot more than if you're a pay-to-win player, just because inside of the dungeon upgrades there are a good amount of upgrades down here that do cost the coins, and they're probably a lot more helpful for free-to-play players because they're pretty much just inventory slots, except for this last one at the bottom is actually a roll amount, which is pretty cool, and it costs 50,000 exchange coins. So this is actually a really good upgrade down here if you can afford this. And yeah, you know, I think I'm gonna go ahead and buy it for the video. I have no clue what it even does, or it gives you an extra roll amount. I do know what it does. So we're gonna go ahead and buy it, and there we go. As you can see, we now have it maxed out. Okay, now I was kind of confused what the extra roll is for, but it actually is for the gachas, which is so OP. If we go ahead and hit the auto roll, I know I already have the best thing, but just to show you guys what it looks like rolling 4 things at once, as you can see, this is what it does. And now you have an extra roll, which is pretty OP. I definitely recommend you guys buy that 50k upgrade if you can. So yeah, from the curse school, you pretty much want to just go ahead and progress through the game. And also what you want to go ahead and do is you want to go ahead and get the obelisk from every world that you can defeat the secret boss in. You guys should definitely join the Anime Eternal Discord server, because there's actually some guides in there that will show you like a lot of things and give you a lot of help and tips. For one of them, it shows you can actually see where every one of the secret boss locations are, which is really helpful, especially if you don't know where they're at. But I would definitely recommend getting the obelisk from every single world. If you didn't know, there is an obelisk in literally every world and a secret boss. And if you go and put the obelisk in, it will give you 3.5% more XP, 0.25x damage multiplier, and 0.15% X energy multiplier, which is pretty good. And you can do that in every single world. Once you defeat the boss a few times, it will just you have to go over here to this quest and claim the quest, and it will just tell you to defeat the secret boss, and it will give you the obelisk part, and putting that in will give you a pretty decent buff. And I'd recommend you guys do it for every single world that you can, or at least defeat the boss or the enemy, because it is really OP. But now moving on to another super important world, we're going over to world 9, because there is the progression raid in here, and this is definitely one of the best things to farm, at least for whenever you do get here. You should maybe wait till you get a little bit more progress after maybe like another world or 2 after it, because you want to be able to do as many waves as you can inside of here. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and join here with 3 progression keys, and the rewards or gachas that you get in here are really good. You get the gachas from pretty much all the worlds before world 9, because this is where the progression rate is at, and the progression rate will pretty much give you a lot of the gachas from the previous world. So if you are struggling on the upgrading the previous gachas, this is super helpful, especially once again, like I mentioned, if you do it with a 3x speed raid and the token drops, you can get so many tokens. Look how many I'm getting. It is absolutely insane. And then you can go and spend the tokens on either whichever upgrades you choose to, or you can exchange them for more of the tokens, or the exchange tokens, which is pretty cool. But yeah, inside of this progression raid, mainly you'll get a lot of the hockey upgrades you can go and do. You get these spiritual pressure tokens right here, which is also pretty cool, and you can try to upgrade it, but but it's, as you can see, I only have a 1% chance for this next one, so it's gonna be pretty hard because I do have it at a high level. But yeah, it will give you the tokens from the solo island right here. I already have a lot of these upgrades already maxed out, but these are super helpful. You need to make sure you try to upgrade these because it will give you a pretty massive boost once you do. So yeah, the most helpful tip I think that I've learned inside of this game is to grind raids, because the raids just give you the most gachas inside of the game, and it's just the best way to spend your grinding. But I know a lot of you guys don't have access to maybe 3 keys at once, or even like maybe token drops. You're not able to get a ton of tokens at once. So if you are struggling to actually obtain keys, you can go ahead and go into the exchange shop and you can actually buy a few keys inside of here. However, they do restock every day, and some of them only have a limit. As you can see, like for the progression key 2, I can only buy 3 of them in the stock, but for some of the other keys you're able to buy as many as you want, so it kind of just depends. But yeah, you definitely want to make sure you complete as many of these different things as you can, because if we actually go ahead and go into the achievements into the game, there is achievements for every single one of the raids in the game, and by getting to a certain wave in there will give you a bigger or more just buffs for free. And this is also a really cool way, or like a super good way actually, to get the free to play currency in the game, which is called credits. And you can actually spend credits, if you didn't know, literally on game passes. If you go to the store or the shop and hit the credits button, you can actually spend everything here on credits, which is super cool. You can literally get every game pass in the game for free. You don't have to spend any Robux. However, you may have to do a bit of grinding because it probably will take a long time to get enough credits to buy everything in here, but you can still buy a few game passes for free, which I would definitely recommend because it is super cool you can do that. 99% of the games that are released don't even offer a free way to get game passes in the game, so this is definitely really cool that they offer that. But yeah, I only did start playing this game a few days ago, and I'm kind of surprised we didn't make it to the last world yet, but I mean, we still have made some really good progress at world 17. Hopefully in the next video I will have the world 20 unlocked and we can go and check out everything inside of here, because apparently there's some pretty cool stuff. And I also need to prestige apparently, because I have not gotten my first prestige yet, but we are 3 levels away, so I'm not sure if we're able to get it in this video or not. And if you are also wondering when the medium and easy dungeons do occur, they occur on the first minute of the hour of every single hour in like real life. The dungeon medium will actually start, and for the dungeon easy will start, and for the dungeon medium to start, it starts on the 10th minute of every single hour. So you can literally just do both of those dungeons in like after 10 minutes after each other, and you can get a lot of those green upgrade tokens right here that you can spend on the attack range, which is really helpful. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys my inventory right now. I'm gonna show you all of the different powers that I have unlocked that give me all of these insane boosts, which is super OP. I somehow managed to get my first supreme power right here, which is the special case, which is actually in the world 17, which is the world I just unlocked. I got super lucky opening this with like barely any of the gacha coins, so yeah, that was pretty insane. But also let me go and show you guys my accessories, because this is also really important too. As you can see, these are my current accessories, and they are pretty OP, I'm not gonna lie, because I did actually get a lot of these in the rarest variant, which is the supreme variant. And yeah, a lot of these accessories are pretty good, but there is one accessory in here that I would definitely recommend to get over the other ones, and that is the shinobi flops. And that's because this thing gives you a 75% boost. That is with the supreme rarity, but that is still so broken. Being able to move 75% quicker in the game is super helpful, especially in dungeons. This is super helpful. And I'll go ahead and show you guys how to acquire this thing. So pretty much all you need to do to get the shinobi flops is you just need to go over to world number let me look, I think 8 right here, and then you need to go ahead and defeat the special minion that spawns in, which I think for this world is actually Itachi over here. And let me get out of the range just so I can show you. As you can see, he has a 25% chance to drop the shinobi flops, and also the chakra and eye tokens you can get from here as well, which is pretty cool. But yeah, we're pretty much just looking for the best shinobi flops drop, and the better rarity that will spawn from him, the better speed boost you will go ahead and get. But I recommend to try and maybe get the best one you can get. You may not need the supreme at first, but definitely try maybe even to get the phantom or legendary at least, because the better the flops, the faster you're gonna move. Let's go and see if I can maybe get this wind spirit progression maxed out. I only have a 1% chance to get this upgrade complete, and let's see if maybe with all these tokens I can get it done. And I actually don't think I'm gonna get it. No way. That is pretty unfortunate. We just need to do one more upgrade to get this thing maxed out, but I guess we'll have to keep on waiting. So yeah, you can go and sit here in front of these shinobi flops, but I'm not gonna be sitting here because I already have the best thing. I'm gonna be moving on to the Titan City because I want to show you what's in here. And actually, as you can see, I just managed to get another one of the shinobi flops just by sitting here for only a few seconds, so you can definitely get it. But yeah, inside of the Titan City, I want to go and show you guys the Titan defense over here, because this will also give you a few gacha tokens as well, which is not bad. But the thing about this, as you can see on the side, there is no boost you can do to give you the complete or the dungeon quicker or give you more gachas. However, since you can only do one token, you're actually able to do this dungeon as many times as you want, so that at least is pretty cool. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and participate in the Titan defense right now. We're gonna see how high of a wave we can actually get up to, and you definitely want to try to do as many of the different raids and everything that you can, because for every different thing you do in the game, there actually is achievements you can go ahead and get, and the achievements are really good. I'm not gonna lie, you want to do literally as many things as you can, because the more achievements you'll claim, the more stamina, the more damage, and pretty much just the better that you're gonna end up being. But also at the end of a lot of these defenses and things is actually some of the credits, which is the free-to-play currency, so you definitely want to try if you can to get these maxed out or completed so you can get the currency and maybe even get some free game passes, which is really cool. We're gonna go and use a damage potion right here, so that hopefully gives me a bit of a buff. Let's also use the damage macaroon and the energy macaroon to give us a little bit more buff. Also, another thing there is inside the game is there is avatars right here, which you can go ahead and use. You can only use one of them because it will actually equip it as your actual avatar. As you can see, I have the big ape avatar, which I believe currently is the best one in the game, but as you can see, my avatar does look like what it looks like. But yeah, if you head over to the avatar leveling right here and you go into world 1, you can actually level up your avatar and it will give you more energy boost in return. But as you can see, I actually already have mine maxed out at 150, which is pretty crazy because I can't even upgrade it anymore. So now I'm pretty much just saving up the avatar souls for maybe like whenever I have prestige. I think it lets me upgrade it a little further. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it might. And also, I literally completely forgot to mention this, but you should definitely try to keep ranking up inside of the world 1 thing right here. You definitely want to try to get your highest rank that you can, because the higher the rank you can get, the better multiplier you're going to get for more energy. And currently I'm on rank 82, which I guess is okay, but I definitely want to get a lot higher. I think for how little I've spent grinding this, or spent in this game grinding, I think I have made a ton of progress. Let me go and check out my stats, because I think we can actually see how long I've played the game for. And okay, I have just around 88 hours, which honestly is a pretty good amount, but I think for the how much progress I have made, I think it's pretty good. And also, boys, there is actually free rewards you can claim every day right here inside of this box, and each one of these rewards that you claim every day will literally give you credits, as you can see right here, which is so OP. So you definitely make sure you guys claim these every day, because this is so broken. You literally get the free-to-play currency you can spend on game passes and everything pretty much. But yeah, in my opinion, this game is actually extremely well made. I haven't encountered any bugs or anything like that, and I barely even touched the surface of what I've shown you guys in this game. There is so much more stuff I have to show you. It's probably gonna have to be saved for a future video because there is just so many things in here. You can also go ahead and equip weapons inside of the game, and as you can see, I have gotten extremely lucky on both of these swords. I have the legendary and epic sword from the only sword gacha you can open up right here in world 2. I have like the pretty good swords in here, but also on top of that, as you can see for both of these, I have managed to get the thunder breathing gacha, which if you didn't know, it's actually from the sword gacha, or not the sword, the breathing gacha right here inside of world 5. As you can see, if we scroll down, I somehow got lucky enough to get this enchant right here, which is a 0.05% on both of my swords. I don't know how I got lucky enough for that to happen, but I guess we did, and we now have 2 of the most broken swords in the entire game pretty much. So yeah, I'm definitely going to continue to use those, and we also have an achievement to claim right here. We can actually reach wave 500 in the Titan defense, so we get extra 15% damage. That's so OP. And we're also starting to approach wave 750, so we can go and claim the 20% energy boost right here once we get that too. And what I like about this game as well is actually the boost that you do claim. Like, let's say you claim this 20% energy boost, it won't give you 20% energy to like your vanilla stats. It gives you 20% to your total energy. So as you can see, I currently have 151 VGN. That's what I'm getting per hit. As you can see, this 20% should bring it up a quarter of, or a fifth of that. So this should give me around like another 20 or 30 VGN. So let's go ahead and claim that, and now we go from 151 actually only to 154. Okay, I'm not sure why that energy boost was so small. I thought it would have been a bit better, but I guess not. We're gonna go ahead and get out of the Titan defense because we're starting to lose now. But I thought the energy percentage actually gave you a percent based on your entire stats, so I guess it doesn't. I really thought it did, but I guess not. But let's go ahead and move on to the next important area I want to go and show you guys. So let's go ahead and go over to world 12. We could only need to go one world further, and I want to show you the dungeon here that they just added that is extremely helpful to grind. Right over here inside of the village of Sin, they actually went ahead and added the Sin raid right here, which you can go ahead and join, and it will give you a few of the tokens. But mostly what you are looking for right here is the Sin upgrade token, because you can spend the Sin upgrade tokens on inside of the Sin upgrades over here, and you can upgrade your energy, coins, and star luck. But as you can see, I already went ahead and maxed out the energy, which was, not gonna lie, it did take a little bit, but it was definitely worth it. I definitely recommend you guys try to get this energy maxed out, and you can just keep on playing the Sin raid. It's not one of the raids where you have to like play once and you have to struggle to get more keys. It's super easy to acquire the keys. All you have to do is go into the exchange shop, and you should be able to buy as many of them as you want. And yep, as you can see, I can literally buy 39 if I wanted to, which is pretty cool. I would for sure recommend you grind this because this is really very helpful as well, especially once you get to this world. It is definitely going to give you some really good upgrades. Alright, moving on to the second to last place I want to show you before I end off the video, because I only have 2 more dungeons I can show you. Actually, no, I have 3 more, sorry. This one is actually the Kaiju dungeon inside of the Kaiju race, and this is actually a really good thing to farm too, because you can get the Kaiju energy tokens from here. And this is actually the only way to acquire these Kaiju energy tokens is literally from this dungeon. You can't get this from any other way. But that Kaiju energy token is pretty good upgrade, because as you can see right here, it is a 100% chance to get it completed, which is pretty cool. So every time you do get enough tokens to get this upgrade, you are guaranteed to get it succeeded, which is pretty cool. So we're gonna go to run this dungeon one time, just so you can see how helpful these Shinobi flops are too. As you can see with the Supreme variant, I am running so much quicker than what I would be if I didn't have them. So this is definitely definitely a huge plus having the shinobi flops, but literally we get a bunch of the energy tokens in here and a bunch of stuff from the kaiju base. This is definitely a pretty good dungeon to run to once you get here, and there is 50 waves inside of this dungeon, so we're gonna go just run all the way to the end and we'll come back once I beat it. All right, and last room right here, and this should go ahead and complete the dungeon, and there we go. So we can now go ahead and see how many energy tokens we got. We got just enough for one upgrade, unfortunately, but we can go ahead and get it. We'll take it, and we got some potential chances to upgrade the fortitude level on this gacha. So let's see, maybe we got one, and we got a few of the kaiju tokens right here. So let's go ahead and auto roll. Maybe we can see if we can get something more rare than what we already have, but we did not, I guess. But let's go ahead and teleport over to the world 15 because I want to show you two more raids really quick. And inside of world 15, I want to go and show you right over here. We have the Gleam raid, which is definitely pretty good to farm. However, it does cost one of the Gleam keys, and they are pretty expensive. They are like 5,000 of the exchange coins, and I believe that is the only way to get it right here. The Gleam key does cost 5,000, so it's pretty expensive. However, I'm gonna go and join it just to see how much more damage I can go ahead and do. Before we do that though, I'm gonna go and change my powers over to, or I'm gonna get rid of a couple powers and exchange them. I'm equipping the Eclipse Eye and the Phoenix Fruit, and we're gonna go ahead and equip the Dough Fruit down here because it does have a 10x damage buff, and also these Eternal Eclipse Eyes right here gives me a 2x damage buff, so we'll go ahead and use both of those. And now let's enter the Gleam raid and let's see how far we can actually get. Hopefully we can clear a few of these waves. Hopefully we can make it to a new record, and I think we actually are. So there we go, we're able to complete wave 7, which is pretty good. I think that's as far as we're gonna get though. Unfortunately, we're not gonna defeat this guy. He has just too much health right now, but I'm sure as we keep grinding, we'll definitely be able to get him at some point. Let's go and exit and check out the new thing we got. And inside of the achievements, we actually defeated so many more of the waves. We can get a much better power now if we go and claim that. We now have a 10x power again. That's pretty OP. And now since we got that, they go ahead and equips, and we now have some pretty insane damage buffs, I'm not gonna lie. So now that we got that, let's go ahead and teleport over to world 16 because this is the very last thing I want to show you before I end off the video, because right over here we have the progression raid number 2, and inside of here this gives you a ton of different gachas from the previous world, which is pretty nice. And we can also choose this to enter here for 3x rewards as well. I'm gonna go ahead and buy this as well because I want to actually use this, so we're gonna go ahead and buy that 3x speed. So yeah, there we go boys. Now it's gonna run one of these dungeons on the 3x speed. Let's go and see hopefully how far we can make it. I'm not sure how many waves we can make it because it's actually like I haven't made it too far in this world, but we're gonna try our best. Let's go and see how many waves we can go ahead and complete. So here we go boys, and I'm hoping we're getting a lot of these tokens. Our boosts are slowly running out. Let me use a drop token, let me use an energy token, a damage token, and I think some more of these macaroons and the hot sauce. I have to pump a lot of these. Hold on. All right, there we go. Now we should be getting a ton of these new tokens. Hopefully we'll see how high of a wave we can make it to. We're doing some good damage so far, it looks like. But I'm gonna go and equip my best power energy, so we're gonna go ahead and get this going. There we go. So we're probably not gonna do as much damage now as we wanted to, but we're still doing some decent damage. But yeah, this is actually my first time doing this progression raid too, so we're gonna go and see how high of a wave we can make it to. And in the meantime, I guess I'm gonna go and spend some of the gachas we're slowly starting to get now. We're getting a pretty good amount from this, I'm not gonna lie. Definitely pretty OP and for sure worth it to grind. So we're gonna go and see how many upgrades we can go ahead and get. All right, we are getting a ton of tokens, boys. I'm not gonna lie, we're doing pretty good, but I think we're starting to, these enemies are starting to have a bit more health. But yeah, let's go and upgrade this swordsman energy upgrade right here, and then also the swordsman damage one too. And we're also actually getting a couple items from the 10 progression side of the world 10. So we're actually getting a ton of different gacha upgrades. This is really OP. Alright boys, it seems like we are unfortunately slowing down, but we did go ahead and make it a few waves completed, I believe. I don't know why my achievements are not showing. Oh, I actually completely didn't realize. Apparently to complete these wave progressions and get the achievements done, I think you actually have to play it on the 1x key for some reason. I don't know why they did that. But we did make it to wave 150, which I guess is pretty good. We can go ahead and exit for now, and we're gonna go ahead and re-enter really quick. So we need to go and choose the 1 key for the 1x rewards, and now will be better. Alright, now we can go to claim a lot of these achievements. As you can see, we can get some pretty good damage, energy buffs, and even some free credits, so not too shabby. Also, this progression rate is actually giving me a ton of XP. I think I'm gonna keep on grinding, boys, and I'm gonna come back once we get to level 200, and we can go and do our very first prestige and see what happens. Alright boys, we're about to hit level 200. As you can see at the bottom, we are so close with the XP, and we should get it any second. There we go, it says ready for prestige. So we're gonna go ahead and pull our upgrade point, and let's go and teleport over to world 1, and let's see what happens once we prestige, boys. I'm very curious. Alright, let's go and do the first prestige in 3, 2, 1. There we go. Alright, and there we go. We now have prestige. It gave us 10 of every potion actually, which is pretty cool. And now we need to get level 210, which is crazy. It did save our rank though, as you can see here, which is pretty cool. So we'll go ahead and rank up again. And it saved all of our worlds too as well, so we're not even that far behind. And now for defeating the enemies, we actually get 2 XP points, or skill points now, which is pretty cool. So we'll go ahead and put a bunch of skill points into energy, damage. But yeah, that pretty much is everything for the video. Make sure you guys head over to my Discord server if you guys want. Link of that will be in the description. Make sure you guys also check out my ROBLOX UGC, as well as Vortex Orb is also linked in the description. And make sure you guys subscribe to the channel as well, because we're on the road to 100k subs. I very appreciate you guys subscribe. And yeah, thank you boys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.